Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Beyond the Gates channel. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe and hit like for more daily drama updates and spoilers. Your support truly means a lot and helps our channel grow every day. Now let's jump straight into today's exciting update. Fairmont Crest stands on the edge of yet another storm, where old wounds refuse to heal, new rivalries ignite without warning, and every relationship is tested by the weight of recent events. Just when it seems as though life might finally be settling after months of heartbreak, danger, and sacrifice, another wave of emotional conflict begins to ripple across the community. At the center of it all is Garland Memorial Hospital, a place that has witnessed miracles and betrayals in equal measure, and now it is about to become the battleground for a confrontation that could reshape the future of countless lives. Long-standing alliances are beginning to fracture. Fresh opportunities are emerging from unexpected places, and every decision carries consequences that could echo far beyond the present moment. In a town where personal loyalties often collide with professional ambitions, one explosive showdown promises to leave a lasting mark on everyone involved. That confrontation begins with Leslie Dana Thomas, a woman who has never been afraid to stand her ground, regardless of the odds stacked against her. Leslie has always been someone people either admire fiercely or struggle to understand, but no one can deny the intensity of her convictions. She enters every battle with unmatched determination, refusing to surrender when something or someone she cares about is threatened. Although she has recently managed to find a fragile sense of peace with Kat after the young woman's extraordinary sacrifice saved her daughter Eva's life, Leslie's fiery spirit has hardly disappeared. If anything, it has simply been redirected, waiting for the next challenge worthy of her unwavering resolve. That challenge arrives in the form of Dr. Monica McCormick, Garland Memorial's newly appointed chief of staff, whose arrival immediately threatens everything Leslie has worked so hard to build. The Phoenix Street Free Clinic has become much more than just another medical facility. For Leslie, it represents hope, compassion, and a promise that vulnerable members of the community will never be abandoned. She helped fund the clinic because she believes healthcare should reach those who have nowhere else to turn, and she has poured her heart into protecting its future. But Monica sees the situation through an entirely different lens. In a decision that sends shockwaves through Fairmont Crest, the new chief of staff moves to sever Garland Memorial's partnership with the Phoenix Street Free Clinic, placing the clinic's future in serious jeopardy. The move instantly creates a collision course between two powerful women, each convinced she is doing what is right, setting the stage for what could become one of the show's most compelling rivalries. The tension between Leslie and Monica feels even more significant when viewed against the hospital's troubled recent history. Monica's predecessor, Dr. Leah Whitmore, had never hidden her disdain for Leslie, yet despite their personal hostility, Leah recognized an opportunity that ultimately served her own hidden agenda. Rather than protecting the hospital's integrity, Leah secretly used the clinic as a convenient distraction, allowing suspicion to drift away from Garland Memorial while quietly expanding the dangerous plasma ring operation through the clinic's connections. It was a deception built on manipulation, secrecy, and exploitation, one that nearly destroyed countless innocent lives before finally unraveling. Now, with Leah's corruption exposed and her spectacular downfall still fresh in everyone's memory, Monica inherits not only a leadership position, but also the responsibility of restoring the hospital's damaged reputation. From her perspective, continuing any association with the clinic, especially after the horrifying warehouse nightmare and the clinic's indirect ties to the red market operation, may simply be too great a risk to justify. As Monica weighs institutional survival against public perception, Leslie sees something entirely different unfolding before her eyes. She sees people who rely on the clinic every single day, volunteers who have dedicated themselves to helping strangers, and a community resource that deserves protection rather than abandonment. Garland Memorial has supplied the clinic with a steady stream of volunteers ever since its doors first opened, creating a partnership that has brought hope to families who had nowhere else to turn. To Leslie, cutting those ties feels less like responsible leadership and more like punishing innocent people for crimes they never committed. Every word exchanged between the two women carries years of frustration, loss, and determination beneath the surface, transforming what begins as a professional disagreement into something deeply personal. It becomes painfully clear that neither woman intends to back down, and as emotions intensify, Fairmont Crest may be witnessing the birth of an unforgettable rivalry that could reshape the future of the clinic forever. Elsewhere, another emotional storm quietly brews within a relationship already shaken by disappointment. Tomas is still carrying the sting of one of the most awkward moments of his life, even if he tries to convince everyone, including himself, that he has accepted what happened. At Kat's surprise welcome home celebration, surrounded by family and friends celebrating her miraculous recovery, Tomas believed he had chosen the perfect moment to ask the woman he loves to marry him. Instead, his proposal interrupted Vernon's heartfelt speech, instantly transforming a joyful celebration into an uncomfortable silence that spread across the room. Although Kat handled the situation with kindness, gently pulling him aside to explain that she simply wasn't ready for such a life-changing commitment, the rejection left invisible scars that are proving far more difficult to heal than anyone realized. Outwardly, Thomas appeared composed, accepting Kat's explanation with maturity and grace. He tried to respect her feelings, understanding that she had endured unimaginable emotional and physical trauma after donating part of her liver to save Eva's life. Yet beneath that calm exterior, disappointment continued to grow, lingering in the quiet moments when no one else was watching. The latest developments suggest those buried emotions are beginning to rise to the surface once again. Kat, having given so much of herself to save another person's future, finally decides to do something entirely for herself. After weeks of recovery and emotional exhaustion, she allows herself a simple act of self-care through an impulse purchase, hoping to reclaim a small piece of joy after sacrificing so much. For Kat, the purchase represents healing, independence, and a reminder that she deserves happiness too. But for Thomas, it somehow becomes a painful symbol of something much larger. Whatever she buys unexpectedly rubs him the wrong way, suggesting that the wounds left behind by the rejected proposal have never truly closed. His reaction hints that unresolved insecurities may now be threatening the very foundation of their relationship. What should have been an innocent moment of personal happiness instead opens the door to fresh misunderstandings and renewed emotional distance. If the rejection truly damaged Thomas more deeply than anyone suspected, then Kat and Thomas may soon discover that recovering from emotional heartbreak can sometimes be even more difficult than surviving a medical crisis. Not every relationship in Fairmont Crest, however, is moving toward conflict. After what feels like an eternity of emotional distance, Jacob and Naomi finally begin finding their way back to one another. Truthfully, cracks had been appearing in their marriage long before Jacob disappeared into his dangerous undercover identity as Rashad. The demands of his career had already begun pulling them apart, creating quiet frustrations neither fully addressed. Then came the undercover operation, followed almost immediately by his relentless pursuit of the mysterious killer known only as the Impaler. Every new investigation stole another piece of his time and attention, leaving little opportunity for the emotional reconnection his marriage desperately needed. Now, at long last, the couple chooses each other again. The chaos that has consumed Jacob's professional life finally gives way to precious moments of intimacy, allowing husband and wife to reconnect after months of separation, anxiety, and unfinished conversations. Their reunion carries the comforting warmth of two people, remembering why they fell in love despite every hardship that tried to pull them apart. Rather than allowing fear and exhaustion to define their future, Jacob and Naomi begin rebuilding the trust and closeness that had slowly slipped away. In a town where so many romances are threatened by secrets and tragedy, their renewed bond offers a rare and uplifting reminder that love can still survive even the darkest chapters. That same spirit of healing extends to Ted and Shanice, whose relationship finally has room to breathe after months dominated by fear for Ted's family. For what has felt like an endless nightmare, Ted has lived almost entirely for his daughters, consumed by worry as the devastating tornado left both Eva and Kat fighting for their lives. Eva desperately needed a liver transplant, while Kat made the extraordinary decision to become her donor, risking her own future in an act of incredible courage and selflessness. Watching both of his daughters lying in hospital beds tested Ted in ways no parent should ever experience, forcing him to confront the terrifying possibility of unimaginable loss. Those agonizing days changed him forever, filling every waking moment with anxiety, hope, and desperate prayers. Now, with both Eva and Kat finally home and steadily recovering, the emotional weight pressing down on Ted begins to lift ever so slightly. The crisis that once consumed every hour of his life finally gives way to quieter moments, allowing him to turn his attention back toward the woman who has stood beside him through it all. Ted and Shanice rediscover the comfort of one another's presence, embracing the rare opportunity to slow down and reconnect after enduring so much pain together. Their romance doesn't erase everything they've survived, but it offers something equally powerful, a reminder that love often grows strongest after weathering life's greatest storms. In the peaceful moments they now share, there is hope that brighter days truly may lie ahead. Meanwhile, Grayson finds himself standing at the beginning of an entirely new chapter after escaping one of the darkest periods of his life. For months, the terrifying shadow of the plasma ring hung over everything he did, threatening both his future and his relationships. But now that nightmare has finally been left behind. With immunity protecting him from further legal consequences, he is finally free to imagine a life beyond fear and constant uncertainty. Even more importantly, Ashley's bitterness and resentment have gradually softened, allowing the two of them to cautiously rebuild the relationship that once seemed beyond repair. Their second chance feels fragile but genuine, built upon hard-earned forgiveness rather than empty promises. Just as they begin believing they might finally have a future together, an unexpected opportunity suddenly appears before Grayson, threatening to change everything once again. The offer arrives without warning, carrying possibilities neither of them anticipated, and immediately raises difficult questions about where his life is headed next. Could this surprising development somehow be connected to the Phoenix Street Free Clinic and its uncertain future, placing him once again at the center of Fairmont Crest's unfolding drama? Or is fate opening an entirely different door, presenting him with an unexpected path no one saw coming? Whatever the answer may be, one thing is certain. As new rivalries ignite, romances evolve, and unexpected opportunities emerge, the lives of Fairmont Crest's residents are about to change once again in ways none of them could possibly predict.